Hey, it's Bill. You're tuned to the Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer. Coming at you from PARockShow.com, MegaRockRadio.net, and 107.1 FM KFGD out of St. Louis, Missouri. Um, OldiesXL.com out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's our newest station. They play us overnight, like 3 a.m. on Monday. So we're getting some new music out to those oldies listeners. I'd like to see reactions of people that aren't expecting it someday. We also are on RuduRadio.com out of San Diego, California, on the beaches there. And we are on in the Highlands of Scotland from xrpradio.co.uk. And finally, right here from the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania, on builditscene.com. This is the Pennsylvania Rock Show, episode number 636. With me tonight is Brad Abbott. What's up, Brad?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me again.
Hey, man, that word tomorrow is going to throw me for the rest of the evening.
I had a fair amount of problems with the promoting of tomorrow because when you say about a song that you're releasing tomorrow, everyone's like, well, what time tomorrow?
Yeah.
Not what I mean.
So it says tomorrow above his head, but tomorrow is Friday, September 9th.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And tomorrow is effectively the title of the song. And it's about the way the world is today.
That's not confusing at all.
No. It's kind of supposed to be, you know.
I walked right into it when we were off the air. I was talking to him about something and actually used some of his lyrics, but we don't need to talk about that right now. So what have you been up to since the last time we spoke?
So I've been trying to get some new music out into the world and do it better. A lot of times, and with all of my previous releases, I kind of just release them and hope for the best. And while that's fulfilling in a way, you know, I'm doing my own music and, you know, kind of just enjoying the creative process. I also want to get out there more. I want to get the messages out there more, like tomorrow has a certain message behind it. So I decided that I was going to put more time into, you know, kind of learning how to push it and market it to people that wouldn't normally see it otherwise. And in the end, I still ended up failing at it, but I learned a lot in the process.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
Yeah, as of right now, still, not a whole lot of traffic, but that's okay because I also learned some personal things along the way, like how to look at things from a certain perspective of just making progress and building towards something and enjoying the journey of doing it and embracing everything leading up to it. Even if you feel like sometimes you're spinning your wheels, like normally in the situation I'm in right now, like with the song releasing and it not really doing all that much, I would probably be a little bit discouraged. But now I'm just like, you know what, how can we take it and put a little more behind it? You know, what I did, while it was a lot of work, didn't get us to where we needed to be. How do we improve upon it? And maybe it's the song. Maybe it's, you know, just something about the way I promoted the shows or whatever the case may be. But I am looking forward to figuring it out and, you know, working through the kinks and moving forward with it in the future and coming back stronger, you know. But at least the song's out.
So when you say you did it differently, is it the releasing it on the online what word do I want here? Online venues isn't what I really want to say, but on all those logos below us, Bandcamp, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube, Spotify.
It's like the more professional approach to the lead up to the release, I guess, is what really makes the difference. The background you have up behind us now, the Tomorrow Release Celebration Tour, that's part of it. You know, I did a couple local shows to try to build some excitement about the single, and I also shared some lyric slides on Instagram, you know, scheduled those out and tried to work the algorithms to get in front of new people and try to tap into new audiences and just little things like that. And, really put the time into doing those things. And also, this is the first song I did a music video for. So I also have post-release plans, like the song released on Friday. Now the music video releases on September 17th. And then a week after that, there'll be a lyric video. So that's other things that I didn't do for any of my other releases, is give them this level of support and put them, everywhere I can in all kinds of different forms. And I just, really try to put everything behind it.
Are you playing near me on the 17th? I thought I read. Are you in New Ken?
I'm in Scottsdale on the 17th.
Scottsdale. Okay.
I was supposed to be in White Oak for some kind of political benefit. But that ended up getting canceled because I guess people aren't feeling very political right now. So.
Well, okay then. What other dates do you have lined up, since we were talking dates? Ooh. It's usually an end of the show thing, but
so many. So I know the one that is fresh in my mind just because I was there a couple days ago is October 29th at Caddy Bogle's. That's going to be a Halloween party. I think it's 3 to 6 p.m. You can check it on my website, bradabbottmusic.com, and that's where you can see all of these dates. But that keeps it a lot more straight than I do in my head. But I know that one's going on, and there's going to be a costume party there. That's me and Steve Hawk. So that's always a lot of fun when Steve and I get together. And, he's an awesome songwriter. You've talked to him a few times, I know.
I have. I also have 6 different profiles of Steve with different spellings right now on my Facebook.
Yeah. So things went down with Facebook that kind of really messed things up for him. But he's in the process of figuring that out, and I feel for him. I'm sorry that he's going through all that. But yeah, I am friends with. I have a collection of Steve Hawk friends.
I started going, is this really him?
yeah. He was running into that a lot too, because he actually has a post right now that, hey, friend requests are legit from all of the accounts. It's just, things went down. So
yeah, I know how that goes. I had Bill DeScene Facebook page that they decided shouldn't be there anymore, and locked on me.
I remember you were talking about that when we actually met in person. I think you were talking about that. Yeah, man, that's just ridiculous. That's one of my biggest fears is that and celiac disease.
Oh,
just all of the work that I put into making the connections and the venues and people overseas that like the music, and I wouldn't even know how to reach some of those people again. So I would hate to lose all that progress that I've made over 10 years, and it seems like he's to a point where he's being able to pick it back up, but still, I'm sure it's tough, losing a lot of your business contact.
Listen, I had 3,500 fans, 4,500 followers, and I'm at a little over 1,000 on both.
Slowly coming back, at least.
Slowly, yeah.
Still, that's a hit.
That's a big hit.
Yeah, for sure.
I went from 8,000 to 2,000. And all the groups that I was signed up to with that page, I can't get back into without. I'd have to leave there's a my personal page, my Bill.Damiano, and then rejoin to get the page on.
Oh,
and I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But anyway, and also being a internet person, webmaster, it's a good idea to have all of your social medias have the same username. Well, when they do that to you, you can't anymore. So mine are non-matching. So now I'm preaching to all these people, make them match, and mine don't match.
Oh man, yeah. Hopefully we don't have to go through too much more of that collectively as a music scene. I don't want to see anybody suffering over their profiles being lost. But,
yeah,
and I don't even understand why it happens. I guess
mine was somebody said that I was impersonating people on my video, that I was impersonating somebody in the video that I was on talking.
Now with Steve, I'm pretty sure he ended up getting hacked. He wasn't like banned from he was banned from Facebook because of what the hackers did on his profile, but he ended up just getting his profile stolen. Basically, is kind of what I got from it.
Yeah, that would be terrible
why?
too.
Whatever.
So since we're talking about social media, do you want to throw out your social media links?
So I am pretty much everywhere at Brad Abbott Music. My handle is the same on every single thing that I'm on. So
see,
Instagram,
that's how you do it.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff at Brad Abbott Music. And then I'm also on Bandcamp, and then you can find me on Spotify too. I have one of those Koji links on my Instagram. Have you seen those yet?
Mm-mm.
Those are super nice. So the Koji link, you just click on that, and it then takes you to a page with everything that I'm on. So Spotify, Facebook, everything. It's all right there for you. So if you want to follow me on anything, you can just go onto my Instagram or my TikTok for that matter. Click on that Koji link, and it'll take you to all of my other profiles.
So it's kind of like a link tree.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Effectively, yes. It's free. I know it's free. I don't know if Linktree is. I'm sure
Linktree has a free version, and then they have paid versions. Gotcha. Mine is the free version.
Yeah, I like free versions of things, man.
The only reason that this StreamYard isn't the free version is because Jonna got annoyed from First Angel Media, and she's like, "I'm paying for the paid one." And I was like, "Okay." But she also uses it now. She wasn't in the beginning. In the beginning, she was paying because she was annoyed that the StreamYard logo was in my videos.
Yeah, wasn't it like a little duck?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep. It's not there anymore.
I see.
Normally, I have this thing up there with us right there. But then it covers up your information, so I took it down.
Oh, I got you.
Buildascene.com, firstangelmedia.com, and PA Rock Show and 3 Questions in a Song, but we're going to take that down because it's covering your information.
That's really neat how you can do all that like overlay stuff.
Oh, yeah. I have all kinds of them. There's one there. I don't have them all loaded right now. I only have 2 loaded. But we can change the background. You can be in Leechburg with me.
Man, that's cool.
We can go to Vandergrift.
I should experiment with this kind of stuff more often.
We can go to my alley. We can go to Gilpin Township.
Man, that was pictures.
We can go hang out on stage with God Hates Unicorns, or Hellfire Club, or Big House Pete.
Nice.
Oh, a bunch of stuff installed in here right now. Let's go back to yours though. all those pictures is just random backgrounds. I was doing like the private eye thing, driving around in my car and taking pictures with my camera out the window because I thought for sure someone was going to call the police on me. That's like, I need to not be here long.
We had a lot of that feeling when we were filming the music video for Tomorrow.
Was it yours? Was it you that asked for somebody that would be willing to pretend to kick somebody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me. Yes. Not just somebody, a homeless man. So it's like a double whammy. Not only are you kicking an innocent person, but the dude's homeless on top of that. So, but yeah, we had 2 people that just like beat the pants off this homeless guy in the video. And that attracted a lot of attention in and of itself. And then we also had someone playing a cop who wasn't playing in all of the scenes, just kind of standing there. So that attracted some attention too. People were like, well, this guy's getting his stuff kicked in and cop is over here doing nothing. Like, what's going on? I was kind of surprised that the actual cops didn't come through, but we got lucky and we got all the scenes we needed. And at the end of the day, it really sends the message. It finishes it off perfectly. And I can't wait to put it out.
Who worked on the video for you?
So behind the cameras, it was my wife and I. And then my good friend, Josh Troiani, who I've done a lot of videos with in the past, actually. I did a cover of MGMT's Kids with him on the piano. And he was also the bass player in my One Headlight cover that I did years ago on YouTube. So he played the homeless man. Then a good friend of mine, Ian, was in it. Yeah, he played one of the people that beat up the homeless man. A friend of mine that I've had since kindergarten, His name's Tony. Him and his girlfriend were in the video. His girlfriend's kind of a bystander watching the beating happen. He is one of the people doing the beating. And my friend Adam played the cop. He is a local security guard, and he had the attire that worked out perfectly for it. So he played the cop. And one of the funniest things about that is it was kind of awkward just knowing this dude for as long as I have, Adam, and handing him a set of handcuffs that I had just bought at Spencer's. And the packaging, you know, they're clearly for something. And I'm
not for music videos.
No. And I'm like, here, man, here's your handcuffs. He just looks at me like, man. But I wanted to be sure they were in the packaging, like with the tape on. I'm like, they're brand new. You know, these are crispy new. No one's ever touched these handcuffs.
Listen, that brings up one of my questions. What Brad Abbott song should survive an apocalyptic event and help repopulate the earth?
Oh, man. Why you always got to throw me these tough ones?
Listen, you're the one that brought up the handcuffs.
If we're going to repopulate the earth, I think the most groovy one is Long Nights. That's got a good beat to it. That makes me want to get down a little bit. You know, that guitar line. I always like that guitar line. Puts me in a good mood.
All right, keep talking. I'll come up with another question for you. Unless you want me to just throw another question at you.
Throw it. Yeah, dude, throw it. I'm here to catch them.
So this one, I'm sure I've asked you because it's become the official build the scene question. And that's who's your Dave Grohl? In other words, who's somebody that you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their original songs?
Who's someone I want to go on stage with and perform one of their songs with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters always bring people on stage.
I've answered this question before, and
I know.
It's probably not going to be the same answer, I'm sure. And it might be. I'd have to say Guster. They're my default for everything, just because they've been so influential. You know, I've got every single one of their albums. I'm pretty sure I know every lyric front to back on every album of their songs. That's how ingrained in my life Guster has been. So then again, another one of my influences is just collaborating with anybody he can get his hands on right now. So I feel like I might have a chance. And that's Elton John. Like he will collaborate with anybody. He just did a feature with Britney Spears not too long ago.
I'm pretty sure he's in Pittsburgh tomorrow.
He is in Pittsburgh soon. It might actually be tomorrow. I think it's his at least third time around on the farewell tour. Yeah. This is the stadium leg of the farewell tour, and I think it's the final version of the farewell tour. I saw him on the first time he came around on the farewell tour. I saw him. Not in concert. I saw his trailer in the parking lot of a Walmart. It looked like the truck driver was spending the night there or something, and there was a nice long parking spot for him where he had the ability to do that. So that was kind of neat. I have a picture somewhere on my phone of the Elton John, farewell Yellow Brick Road trailer.
I'm trying to think how long ago we talked last. This question might be a new one for you. What's the best pizza you've had because you're a musician? So you have to link it to being a musician somehow.
Okay, I can definitely do that. That's actually an easy one. Every time I play a venue with a margarita pizza, I have to try their margarita pizza. And I'm not going to go through my personal ranking of, where they all stand, because that would be mean to, second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth place. But there are some incredible margarita pizzas in the area. Yellow Bridge Brewing has an incredible margarita.
In Delmont. I drive past that every day on my way to work.
Now they got a new tap room in Greensburg that just opened.
Oh, are they not in the Delmont location?
No, they're still in Delmont, but they're also now in Greensburg too. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the kitchen operates the same, but I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. If you want to check out Yellow Bridge, you should.
Last year on the first day of school, I sat in their parking lot for about 3 hours waiting for a flatbed.
Oh, dude. But
I did not make
while you were there, you should have probably ate a margarita pizza because
nobody even showed up until right before the tow truck did. So I couldn't even.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was early.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really good pizza. And then another place that has an incredible pizza is the old Spitfire Grill in Greensburg. Another awesome margarita pizza that I've had. So
where is that one at in Greensburg?
I believe that's Broad Street in like southwest or southeast Greensburg or something like that.
Okay.
It's not like downtown Greensburg. It's kind of off, on to the side a bit. A little more calm out there, but still a main drag.
Yeah, my son goes to Greensburg Central Catholic as of this year, which is
okay. So
right
you're
in that area. Every day because I drive him there.
Definitely try the old Spitfire Grill because they have incredible food. My wife loves their deviled eggs, and they have good salads there, and they have a lot of good food.
I got to figure out that food trucks and music go together a lot too. Is there a food truck that you would recommend?
I'm really bad with the names of the food trucks, man. But if I had to shout out to a food truck, it wouldn't be because I knew them from doing music gigs. It would be because they came to the Jeanette Food Truck Day that they have every other Thursday down here. And that's this place called Steel City Chimneys. Man, they're like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a baked or cooked, I don't know. It's a big tunnel you eat, and they put some cinnamon on it and some caramel, and it's just really good. It's like a cone.
See, now I'm gonna have to look it up.
yeah, I don't even know what it's called. My wife turned me on to them. She's like, "These are really good. I got to get me a chimney," and I'm like, "All right, I'll try one with you." And yes, they are fantastic, and the people that run it are really nice too. So very cool.
I don't know how often you check my timeline, but every so often you'll see me post food trucks and bands. This is my place. I didn't used to be a food truck person, and then I started doing a website for a food truck, and I started checking out food trucks. And there are a lot of good ones in the area.
There's a lot of good ones, and a lot of them do some of the same things, but with their own unique twist on them. And it's always kind of neat to see how they kind of throw their own flair to things.
So the one I do the website for is Del Vecchio Sausage and Fries.
Okay.
It's delvecchiosausage.com. And every once in a while, they will have ravioli. But the ravioli is stuffed with buffalo chicken. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, man.
Honestly, there isn't anything that I've ever had from that truck that I haven't loved. So if you see them anywhere, you should check them out. Also, if you see Hot Ash Pizza, which is right up my original question, they have a wood-fired pizza on a truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wood-fired.
Pretty good.
Wood-fired is my jam. That's how Spitfire is wood-fired pizza.
And they do have a margarita.
Oh, good. Now, are you familiar with margarita pizza? Because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people have never had margarita pizza.
I'm pretty sure there's spinach on it, right?
No, basil.
Or basil.
Fresh basil,
yeah.
Yeah, that like Roma tomatoes.
Yeah. I've never eaten one, but I knew that there was green leaves on it, which is why I haven't eaten it.
Oh, man. I highly recommend getting over the green leaf thing, just in this particular case, and trying one of them. And I always add pepperoni to my margarita pizza. That's the trick. But it can't be that like BS like flat pepperoni. It's got to be the kind that cups up when you cook it, or it's not real.
If they down the road were to make a biopic about you, who would play you?
I don't know. Someone not attractive.
You say that. I actually have a name in my head that I think should play you. Keanu Reeves.
No idea.
Keanu Reeves.
I could kind of see that.
I mean, he's a little older than you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
But you kind of look like him.
Well, that's nice of you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'll take that as a compliment.
Can you do that thing where you bend over backwards and bullets fly past you?
No, I can't. No, I wish I could. That always looked pretty cool. I've never actually seen The Matrix. I just know what it's all about because I collect video games, and I have 2 of the Matrix games. But
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his movies. Some of them are pretty good, some of them not so much.
Yeah. So the only thing I really know about him is that, from what I understand, he's like this really super down to earth, chill guy. He's like
Yep.
the Dave Grohl of the acting scene. And he's actually in a band too. He plays a Fender jazz bass or a P bass. I think it's actually a Fender P bass that he plays, but it's kind of a neat little fact. I didn't know he was a musician.
If Are you familiar with the movie Rockstar?
I don't believe so.
Oh, this is 2 times in a row. How about Almost Famous?
Almost Famous, I've seen parts of. Yeah,
Sorry,
I couldn't quite get into it enough to like watch it the full way through. I think my wife and I got halfway through that one.
all right, well then I'll give you the premise of Rockstar then. So it's loosely based on when Tim Ripper Owens left his tribute band and joined Judas Priest. And how that happened and how it went down and how it fell apart. But the band was not real happy with the changes that the movie people made, and they refused to say we're with this is about us. So, but it is. But anyway, if you were in a tribute band, whose band would you be a tribute of? And if you got the option to join them, would you do it?
Okay, so I have to join a tribute band, or I have to start a tribute.
So you're in a tribute band.
I'm in a tribute band.
Like, so the band in the movie was called Steel Dragon, the tribute band.
Okay, so who's my band tributing to?
So so you need to pick who your band is a tribute to, and then if the band you were doing the tribute to approached you and said, "Hey, our singer or guitar player is leaving, we want you," would you do it?
I got you. Okay. So I've already thought about this. I would do a tribute band of Guster, and I would call it Custard, just because I like ice cream. So that would be where I went with that. And then if someone from Guster ever approached me and asked if I would join them in place of my cover band, I would without a doubt say yes. Yeah, I would have to, man, because the tribute band's a tribute band. It can be a tribute band without me. You can replace me in the tribute band, but the real band just asked me to join. I'll be damned if I'm not going to. Come on. Come on. If y'all are my friends, you understand that, right? I would think, but that's okay, because ain't nobody asking me to join their band. I'm too abrasive.
Hey, along the same lines, just because I found it on YouTube recently. So Steel Panther, who started out as a cover band and then became like a tribute to hair metal and make their own music. There is now a tribute band to them. How do you feel about that?
A tribute band to a tribute band?
Yeah, basically.
I don't know. I think that's taking it one step too far. Yeah, tribute band makes sense because you're paying homage to, the creators. But I don't know. How do you pay homage to someone who's paying homage? I don't know.
I mean,
hey, man, you honored that guy really well. I want to honor the way you did that.
I mean, Steel Panther does have originals and they play them, but they also play other band stuff. They're kind of they're their own niche.
So no, well, that's not necessarily a tribute band. Then a tribute band is more like they only play the songs of one band,
right?
Otherwise, that's a cover band if they're more multi-focused and do a bunch of covers.
Listen to how I worded it. They play a tribute to hair metal.
Okay. So I must have misheard you a little bit.
But they're a cover. They play covers. You're right, and they play their own stuff. But the covers they play Van Halen, they play AC/DC, they play it's a specific area, and they started out as a cover band, and then they started parodying. That's hard to say. The bands from the 70s and 80s and probably the 90s. I'd have to go back and listen to another one of their concerts. And then they started writing their own stuff after that. And now another band is doing tribute of them.
I got you. Well, I mean, I guess that makes a lot more sense when you put the whole story in with it.
But most people just see them as a parody band. They don't,
Parody is something in and of itself that's its own fun little thing. I've kind of wanted to dabble in with it, but I don't know. Everything I come up with in terms of parody is always so wildly inappropriate and vulgar, and I'm always just like, I can't put that out. Like, I'll never get hired for any other job again.
Okay, now you got to go listen to Steel Panther because you just described them.
Yeah, man. My mind goes into weird places. At work, we will change the lyrics, I will change the lyrics of every single song that comes on the radio just to ruin it for everybody else. Like, I don't know why, and it's not really to ruin it because most people chuckle at it. And I have ruined a couple favorite songs, I guess, over the years, but it's just fun. You change the lyrics to something inappropriate, it passes the time. And I feel like I have a lot of ideas sitting in the back of my head that I could, really twist some songs up and make good rhymes into some just things that the songs aren't supposed to be about and should never, ever be about.
Can you play the accordion? Because I think Weird Al is probably going to retire soon.
Yeah. No, I cannot play the accordion. That's one of the few instruments that I never picked up.
So we've talked about a lot of things so far. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your song Tomorrow so that we can give it a spin for everyone to check it out here?
So I started writing Tomorrow last year, and it's just about the way we tend to only focus on what's on our phone screen and completely ignore everything else, be it positive or negative, that's all around us. So it's just written about the way people seem to think today and how I feel about it, or how a lot of people feel about it, and how we think it's just time for a change, but we don't really know how to go about initiating that change. We're kind of at an impasse. So we made this video for it to really drive the message home. And one of the focal points of the video is an individual just walking past this mural in Jeanette, staring into their phone screen, completely ignoring the beautiful artwork that's behind them. And then that same individual then walks past the homeless guy getting beat up, completely ignoring the fact that there's someone, being victimized, to a beating right below their feet. They just don't care. They're into their phone screen. So it talks about that. And it's just a commentary on the way we really need to wake up and see what's going on with our world and realize that we should all be a team, and we're kind of against, a class of people that's definitely in charge of us and making a lot of money off of us. But
I thought
a lot of us are just.
I thought you said that political thing was canceled.
No, well, the political thing, yes, on September 17th is in fact canceled. And this isn't even really political to me. This is just life in general. That's the way things are right now. And I think there's a lot of willful ignorance, and we're kind of innocently hoping that things resolve themselves as they have in the past. And it just doesn't seem like it's going to be that way this time. So it's time for us to wake up and see what's going on, and maybe not make the same mistakes in the next 100 years or whatever the case may be. But I think in our lifetimes, we're going to end up seeing some real crazy times. It's going to be pretty scary, but I guess it's got to get worse before it gets better. But that's, going deeper than even Tomorrow does. And there will be other songs about, the coming apocalypse, I'm sure, in future albums or whatever.
And how to repopulate the earth after.
And how to repopulate the earth, and which song of mine you would use. Long nights.
Hey, with that said, we're going to take a moment. We're going to listen to Tomorrow by Brad Abbott, which you can find on his website and all the streaming places. You would think I'd have a better word. All the streaming places.
Platforms.
Platforms. Thank you. And we'll be right back. And for anybody who happens to be watching the video, whether live or Memorex, and some people that just went over their head, do you even know what I meant by that?
I remember certain things by the company Memorex.
All right, so they used to have a commercial that said, "Is it live or is it Memorex?" for their cassettes.
Okay, yes, yes, okay. That makes sense now.
All right, so now we're going to pretend like we listened to the song, and those people that are watching the video are going to have to go to buildscene.com to hear it, or go stream it, or go buy it. That's the key. Go buy it.
Hey, streaming's cool too. I get it. A lot of people don't like to download songs anymore and don't actually like put them on their phone, so they just stream it.
That's where I'm going to call out Lars. Except I'm not, because he might sue me.
Oh yeah, he's a sue happy one. He's like Gibson.
But so Lars and Gibson will never sponsor this show or Brad.
No, yeah. I bought these KRK studio monitors, and I didn't know they were owned by Gibson when I bought them. And I found out because the package, when you get it, says KRK by Gibson. And I'm like, ugh. I was so mad at myself for buying a brand new Gibson product. I'm like, I supported the company. Like, they sue everybody. Like, they seem to hate anybody that even touches making a musical instrument. So they just sue the pants off these new guitar makers. And I just can't support that. You know, like, if I'm going to buy a Gibson, it's going to have to be used because I'm not buying a new one. Just cannot support the company. Not the way it is today. And some of the things that the CEO has said in recent years and just recent months, just, I don't know. I hate Gibson as a company. I love their guitars, hate them as a company.
If it makes you feel any better, the guitar that's in this room is a Fender.
Good deal. Good deal. No, they are like just a corporation at this point too. But still, yeah. I love a Fender guitar. And they don't sue everybody. So, I mean.
This one's a 3/4 acoustic that nobody plays anymore.
They just recently came out a couple of years ago with a nice line of acoustics called the Paramounts. I picked one of those up not long ago. I don't use it live because it doesn't have electronics in it, but they're awesome guitars.
Yeah, this was my son decided he wanted to learn how to play guitar, and so we picked it up, and it's the same thing. It doesn't have electronics in it, and he played it for a few months, and then we became really busy, and he never got back to it. But he plays the trumpet in 3 bands right now.
Oh, wow.
The pep band at school, Kiski Valley Community Band, and the Mon Valley's junior stage band, who he is a freshman, and they do 7th through 12th grade. And this year he's first seat. Last year there were 6 trumpets and he was 3rd seat. So and he was the youngest. I don't know if he is this year, but he was the youngest, and he was only 2 of the people that were older than him were playing harder parts than him. So I'm a little proud.
Oh, I would be too, man. That is awesome.
And he got invited, that Kiski Valley band. Well, we'll talk about this off the air. Anyway, we're going to come back. Okay, that was Tomorrow by Brad Abbott, which is available as of September 9th, not tomorrow. There, now we'll confuse them. You can find that on all these streaming platforms, and go to bradabbottmusic.com. And let's get some more off the wall questions.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
Okay. So you're leaving a gig, putting your guitar in your trunk or back seat or wherever you're putting it, and you notice there's a DeLorean sitting in front of your car with its door open. You go to check it out, and there's a flux capacitor in the back seat. Nobody's around. Now, this means that you can take it and bring it back the exact same time that you stole it, and nobody will know. So, where are you going in time, and what musicians are you going to hang out with while you're there?
Oh, man. Dude, I'd go experience the 90s. I'd probably go back to like 1988 just so I can be kind of coherent for like, I don't know. Maybe I'd have to go back a little further than that. Maybe go back to 1980. That way I could be coherent for the 90s, you know, see the Seattle boom and like watch grunge happen. And I just think that would be really, really neat to see. You know, some of those musicians were just such powerful impacts on me growing up because they were always on the radio. That's all it was. My mom listened to 105.9 The X nonstop, and it was Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Smashing Pumpkins. You know, they're not really grunge, but Alice in Chains, all that kind of stuff growing up, and it really kind of pushed me towards what I do. So, definitely the 90s and the 80s.
All right. How old are you again?
I am 29. I'll be 30 in November.
Okay. Because you just listed all the bands I was listening to and said your mom was listening to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that was her jam back then, man.
I'm gonna go with, let's see. I mean, I guess I could. I would have been 17, but I could have had a kid that would be your age. I don't. I have a 14-year-old and two 12-year-olds. But that explains why your mom was listening to the same music as me.
Yeah, she passed away at age 50, which was in 2017. So she would have been born, I don't know, I'm not doing math tonight, but that's what age she was.
So 10 years older than me, if I did that math correctly. So like 66?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was listening to the music my uncles were listening to. And I have an uncle who's 10 years older than me and one who's 5 years older than me. So it makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Kiss has played in a bay in Australia where there were ships around their ship baiting sharks. So they were playing to sharks. And Metallica has played in Antarctica. What non-standard venue would you like to play at?
You know, there was this one Goo Goo Dolls video that they did years back. I forget what they called it. But there was one where they did like in front of this beautiful, it looks like an ocean with like some nice rocks in front of it. They also did one on a moving train. And I always thought the moving train would be kind of neat.
That's the one about the missing kids, right? Isn't that them?
I don't know. I never noticed anything about. No, there's definitely no missing kids involved in the videos that I was talking about. But
I'm gonna.
Are you talking about the Soul Asylum Runaway Train video?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about something a little different. No, the Goo Goo Dolls did like a live sessions kind of thing where they had these beautiful backdrops behind them and they did their songs acoustically at these backdrops. And it was nice. Like, it was a really cool series. And one of them was a moving train. And just really, really awesome scenery.
Sometimes when I ask that question, people tell me space, and then the science teacher in me has to explain to them that there's no sound there.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Let's see. See, I used to ask what your favorite venue is, but that kind of alienates other venues. So I'd stop doing that. So we're not going to do that. Let me think. Something odd that's happened while you've been playing on stage.
I don't know if you'd consider it odd, but actually, this just happened the other day. This was yesterday. Someone who I would not have thought would have requested a song by Elton John came up and requested a song by Elton John. This like little dude, probably like 10 or 12 years old. Not little dude, like kid, younger kid. And he came up and he was like, "Do you know anything by Elton John?" I was like, "Man, I was expecting you to say literally anything other than that." But yeah, just because I'm so caught off guard by that question, I'm gonna go out there right now and I'm gonna learn Rocket, man, and I'm gonna come in here and play it for you. But
Nice.
that was a lot of fun. I was not expecting an Elton John request to come out of someone under 15 years old. It was just very surreal to me, but very cool. I was like, dude, you got good taste, little man. I like you. Him and I got along for the rest of the night. After I played Rocket, man, he gave me a little fist bump, and I was, kind of jamming along with him until he left, and I played for like another hour after they took off. But that was a cool experience.
Have you ever met a musician?
I have not met any
like a well-known
musicians of the caliber you're speaking of. Yes,
right.
Yeah, a lot of local ones though. Know all of
sure.
those guys.
I know a lot of them too. Did I tell you that I almost met Steve Hawk in person? Almost.
You did, yeah. I think that was a little while before you and I met at Brandy's that happened to you. I think you were telling that story there.
Yeah, I walked into Sheets. I'm like, that looks like Steve Hawk. And I was like, I'm not sure. So I left and I sent him a Facebook message and it was Steve Hawk.
Yeah.
So every time I go into that Sheets, I'm like, is Steve here?
Steve's a good dude, man. I have a lot of fun when I play shows with Steve. Yeah, and that's another thing. We'll plug that one more time. October 29th at Tatty Bogles. Halloween show with me and Steve Hawk. Check that out.
I may have asked you this, but I haven't asked in a while. Can you pinpoint that moment where you realized that you wanted to write and play your own songs?
Not really. It was in elementary school because I was writing songs in elementary school. They were terrible, but they were on paper. But I can't really pinpoint the exact moment, no. I remember when I first got into music, the first song I really fell in love with was in the credit roll of Lion King, which was Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John. And that's what got me rolling on that whole thing. My first CD or cassette tape actually that I ever owned was a copy of Elton John's Love Songs that my grandmother had got me. And we would just like play that tape on repeat anytime we went anywhere in the car. So that was my my early experiences with music. And I started writing in elementary school. So I think my man Elton had a lot to do with that.
My grandmother was a huge Every Rose Has Its Thorn fan. And back when I was a kid, MTV actually played music videos.
Yes.
So I would sit in her bedroom with her and we would watch MTV waiting for that video to come on. So to this day, that is my favorite, absolute favorite Poison song.
Fond memories.
And every time it plays, I think of her.
Yes.
Now you mentioned the song that kind of got you into music. Mine, man, not really a song. The Destroyer album by Kiss, which came out in '76, which is when I was born. So I came to it a little later, but Beth is on there, Rock and Roll All Night, Shout It Out Loud, all like most of their classic stuff came off of that album. So and that shows our age difference a little bit.
Hey.
But again, my uncles were listening to it.
So what you always gravitate towards is what you're hearing growing up. It seems to be.
Well, in my parents' car, in my parents' car, I was listening to things like the War of 1812 by Johnny Horton, which is really old country. Not my thing. Although that song, I do like that song to this day. But not really. I listen to country before I'll listen to pop or rap. I probably shouldn't be throwing that stuff out there since I'm constantly trying to get new music on my radio show. If you have that music, I'm going to play it. If it's good for your genre, I'm going to say, yeah, we'll play that. Doesn't mean I like it, though. Everyone has their own opinions and their own thoughts on what they like. And if you're out there and you are a unsigned or independent musician and you're looking for airplay, if you send me your stuff, even if I don't like it, if it's good, it'll get put in rotation. There, did I cover myself?
Yeah, dude. We all respect the hell out of that too. So thank you for doing what you do for promoting local music, man. I appreciate it, and we all appreciate it. So
you're welcome. Hey, let me give you one more off the wall question, and then I'll ask you the 2 time to get out of here questions.
Okay.
Okay. If you could have a cameo in any movie where you're playing your music, so it could be a movie that's already been done or a movie that's we know is coming out, what movie would you want to have a cameo in? And the reason I asked this is Slant 6, who's a local band, was in I completely blanked on the name of the movie now. Promised Land, which was about fracking. Yeah, they're in a bar, and the guy comes in and steals their microphone from them and starts going on a rant about fracking.
Oh,
but
nice.
They're in it.
I'll check that out. So, what was that question one more time?
What movie would you like to have a cameo in?
What movie would I cameo in, dude? Clerks 3 is coming out this month.
Oh,
I would love to do a cameo in Clerks 3. I would play anything they wanted. I would change the lyrics to one of my songs to just be completely vulgar and inappropriate and make a complete parody of it and have a good time with it. But yes, I would definitely love to be in a Clerks movie or anything with Jay and Silent Bob. I feel like I can get down with.
See, that's the first time I've ever asked that question. So maybe it'll get named the Brad Abbott question.
Oh, no.
Okay, so these are hopefully the 2 easiest questions of the night. What's coming up next for Brad Abbott?
Just releasing more music. I'm working on another song in the studio right now, and I plan to do a lot of the same kind of stuff that I did with Tomorrow for it. So a music video, perhaps, maybe a lyric video, working on things like that. And just staying busy with the live shows. There's a bunch of dates on the website for the rest of this year, and I'm already booking for 2023 as well. And, you know, playing some new stuff at all those. I try to play at least a couple new ones every time and just have a good time with it. That's really it. Writing new music, recording music, and playing live shows.
Cool. And besides BradAbbottMusic.com down there below us, where would you like people to go find your music at?
It, of course, always helps for subscriptions on YouTube. That's where I do most of my stuff. I do a vlog series on there now where I keep everybody up to date and like talk about mindset and things like that. So that's an important thing that I'm doing now. And all your favorite forms of social media. So wherever you like to stay up to date with people, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I'm on all those at Brad Abbott Music. And you can click on links to all that stuff from my website. So if you don't want to remember the handle, just go to my website and you can click on the icons for all that. It'll take you right to my profile on them.
Cool. So I want to thank you for hanging out with me on episode 636. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? That's terrible. So this is going to go out to air on starting on the radio stations, the streaming stations, and the FM station on Friday, which is the 16th.
Okay.
Wednesday, 2 days from when we're actually recording, is the 18th anniversary of this show.
Wow. You've been doing this for 18 years, man.
Yep.
636 episodes. That is a huge number.
So it was September 14th, 2004 was the first Pennsylvania rock show, except it didn't have a name when we did it.
Wow.
But it was a spur of the moment thing. And here we are 18 years later, still doing it.
So if this is airing on Friday, the 16th, then can I ask everyone that's listening when it airs to share that video that's coming out tomorrow, man? As I said, we got that message that we're trying to get across. So if you go over to youtube.com/Brad Abbott Music, it'll probably be the first thing you see there. We're doing a premiere of it at 5 p.m. on Saturday, September 17th. Share it around with your friends.
Remind me after you premiere it. Send me a link and I'll add it to the show notes too. So it'll be
nice
right there when people come looking for it.
All right, man. I
for the,
will do.
for the
I will make
podcast.
sure that song emailed over to you as well.
Yes, so that I can play it in the episode.
Yes, be good.
All right. So you can find us on buildascene.com. Each and every Friday, we release a new episode of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. On the 1st and 15th of the month, we release a brand new 3 questions and a song. On the 15th, which is yesterday. See, now we're going to do this tomorrow, yesterday thing. The episode of 3 questions and a song featured Joey Connor from the band Blackridge and their brand new song Raw Power off of their EP titled Raw Power. And I don't know when the next Friendly Fire is yet, but there will be one coming up eventually on xrpradio.co.uk. The problem with scheduling those is I'm always busy, and it really is my fault, so I'm taking the blame. So to track that one, you just got to go to buildascene.com and or watch First Angel Media, Build a Scene, or XRP Radio's Facebook and social media. When we schedule it, it shows up on there. There is no real set series or anything. It's like, okay, Bill doesn't have anything to do on this Saturday, this one, so that's when we're doing it. With that said, this has been episode 636. 18 years in, and we're going to do it probably forever. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks again, man.